Hey everyone, my name is Samantha and welcome back to my YouTube channel. First and foremost, I just want to apologize in advance because I need to change the batteries in one of my fire alarms and I just realized that you can hear it. So apologies ahead of time. But anyway, today we're talking about Gabbie Hanna. Now, I didn't have the will to film today, but this video she posted really compelled me. It really lit a fire in me. Like every video that I've posted about a person, there is a point. And I feel like I need to add this in so you, the viewer, can hear what I'm saying and be like, oh, that makes sense, and take it in for yourself. We're all human, and I feel like some of the things that we go through, we can relate to each other. Even if the person isn't being a good person, there is not one person on this planet, well, maybe there is, but like, it's very rare that somebody is just always doing the right thing their whole life. Like, we all mess up. So I like to talk about different things in a different perspective to try to help people understand other people, or to try to create just a new light to said person. So if you don't know who Gabbie Hanna is, I don't have the time. Okay, I don't have the time to break down who this woman is, but Smokey Glow does. So I'm gonna link a couple videos. She deserves all of the success that she's had on YouTube. She's wonderful, but she has made 2 videos, and recently one is like an hour long about Gabbie. And just a trigger warning, I am going to talk about sexual assault briefly, just to like explain the story, because I feel like it's very relevant. Gabbie Hanna allegedly continued to be friends with somebody who sexually assaulted her friend. Hello everyone, it's me. I'm editing right now. I realized that I said her friend. I'm referring to Jessie Smiles, who is also another YouTuber. I understand if you know me and you don't follow YouTube, none of this makes any sense to you, but I am doing the best I can explaining it without making a detailed video of the drama that follows Gabbie Hanna. So yes, Jessie will be brought up a lot in this video. She is the victim of said thing that I just talked about. So thank you. There's a whole timeline to that, and I feel like I need to talk about it. If you're watching this and you don't know, that's when you should watch Smokey Glow's video and then come back to me, because whatever. She was accused of this, but it only got brought back up because Gabbie messaged a fan talking about Jessie. So Jessie was like,
girl, this is what you did, and here's the receipts. Stop talking about me.
So yes, she's been in a lot of scandal, but a lot of times she wouldn't be in those positions if she just kept her mouth shut or just minded her business. You know, it seems like Gabbie's the type of person that wants to be left alone but doesn't know how to leave other people alone, if that makes sense. Jessie made a video about her and it just kind of spiraled. She just went into a complete, I don't know, it's like she got in this whirlwind that she couldn't get out of, and everybody's watching it from a perspective of, is she okay? So if you don't know a lot of this stuff, I'm like going insane trying to find a way to make it make sense for someone that doesn't watch her, doesn't know who she is, or doesn't know anything that goes on. It takes a lot for me to resonate with people that have a really large following, because with a really large following comes a big sum of money, you know? It makes people lose touch with reality, and I think that's what happened with Gabbie, is she lost touch with reality. I'm gonna go over my notes, and I might add clips in here to kind of add context of Gabbie's video. I don't really want to like do that with her video. She doesn't know who I am, she never will, but it makes me a little nervous to do that, so I'll kind of decide later after I edit this. At the beginning of the video, she talked about how she was in an abusive friendship. Now, I want to talk about abusive friendships because I feel like they're real. Obviously, you can be in an abusive relationship with just about any person. It could be in work, it could be a significant other, it could be, you know, a family member. It doesn't matter. An abusive relationship is an abusive relationship, and so her feelings within those relationships are 100% valid. The problem I have is that in Jessie's video, she shows proof. The way Gabbie talks to her is very demeaning. The things that Gabbie did on Twitter during her whole mental breakdown, for lack of a better word, was very disgusting. It leads me to believe that this toxic friendship group that she was talking about, I feel like it was parallel. I feel like the whole thing was toxic. I don't feel like, and I could be wrong, okay? I don't know these people. I'm just talking about them. But I feel like the friendship group she's talking about, I feel like the whole dynamic was toxic. I don't feel like people just grouped up on her. I feel like she listed off some things that they said to her that weren't nice or whatever, and that hurt her feelings, that made her feel a certain way, or things they would do to her that weren't cool. But I also feel like she probably did stuff as well. The reason I say that is because in this video, she does take accountability for her downfalls, for her flaws. To truly take accountability or to talk about your story, you do have to admit where you went wrong within that friend group. I think there are multiple victims to that toxicity that was in that friend group. You know what I mean? I don't feel like Jessie has anything to gain from lying about any of this. It completely kind of discredited Jessie in a way that was really messed up. If you watch her video, she says, I'm gonna talk about people and refer to them as they. And then you don't know who she's talking about specifically. She doesn't say any names, but the only people she's had public issues with was Jessie. Who else? Alex James, I think a couple other people, but it's not like we have this whole giant list of people that it could be. We have a handful of people that we're now associating with all of these shitty things that she said these people did, whoever they are. To me, the fact that she left room to speculate is just as bad as straight up saying their name. So at that point, she might as well say their name. Jessie is part of the group that she's talking about. We already know that because that is where this all started. To say like, I'm not gonna say names, but this is all of the really terrible things these people did. And I'm not talking about little things. When she started listing off the type of things these people did, it almost made me feel like she hasn't changed. If I were Jessie, I would be like, Gabbie, I didn't do these things, or maybe she did. I don't know. Nobody knows. But that's where I don't like that she like left it up for speculation. I don't think it's fair, because the point of all of the whirlwind that happened is that Gabbie needed to take accountability for what Gabbie did. Gabbie, get out of victim mentality. Like, yes, these things happen to you. Yes, they aren't cool, they aren't good. How do you expect people to forget about what you've done, or to accept your apologies, or to believe you if you are continuing to talk about what other people have done to you? Because I'm gonna tell you this, I don't believe she's innocent by any means. I can read people, and I know a lot of people say that, but I really can, and I can kind of understand who somebody is based off of just a few interactions. I don't know them, but I can kind of see their character, or kind of see through some of the things they're saying and understand what they're really saying. And one of the things I noticed about Gabbie is that I do think that she is deep down a really good person. I think she wants to be the best version of herself. I don't think that Gabbie lives her life trying to manipulate every situation to make herself the victim. And the reason I say that is because I look at Gabbie and I see me, okay? I see an older version of me. Not older, but I see like an old version of me, because she's very defensive. She wants to show her true character, which, like I said, I believe she's a good person. Even within this video, I feel like she is so set on proving her character that she'll go out of character and also diminish other people's character to prove that her character is righteous and that it's good and that she has a good heart. And you don't have to do that to get people to see your character. I think people think they have to cushion themselves when they talk about their flaws to get people to still like them, even though they're admitting their flaws. She really did, in my opinion, come off very genuine and very, what's the word, authentic. And I think she is valid in the way she talked about her story, but I also believe that there is more that needs to be worked on in the area of not allowing other people's feelings to be valid. So when I say that she comes off genuine, I'm talking about when she's talking about her flaws. She made all these references to like a villain, being a villain in someone else's story. Just because she said something along the lines of, just because you're a villain in somebody else's story doesn't mean that you're a bad person or that you should be treated like a bad person. The issue I have with that is that she has publicly, she has publicly invalidated Jesse. She has publicly invalidated somebody's sexual assault story and how it went to them. Just like Gabbie has her own reality, so does Jesse. And Jesse's story is just as much as valid as Gabbie's. But Gabbie seems to hold herself up here and everybody else is kind of down here. And I'm not saying that in a way that means that she thinks she's better, but I think she doesn't understand that you can be a victim of something and still be abusive or still be manipulative or whatever it is you are. Just because you've been through something doesn't give you like a get out of jail free card. You know, you still have to hold yourself accountable to the 1000th degree. Another thing that she said that really, I hated it. She says that people are obsessed with her. I don't think anybody's obsessed. I think your fans are obsessed with you, but I don't think addressing something and standing your ground is the same thing as obsessed. Now, because she was so vague with the people aspect of who's involved or who she's talking to, all we know is about Jessie Smiles, Alex James, and, you know, the couple other people that were defending Jessie. So who are you talking about that's obsessed with you? I don't think she's 100% herself in her videos. I think that if she was more like how she was in this video, this coming back video, more often, I think it would help her audience connect with her and therefore people would understand her better. If you want your fans to connect with you, and this is like, all of this is like real life too. It can be on a micro or a macro level. It doesn't have to be just people online that have 1 million followers. That's where I come up with my video ideas. When I talk about people, is I think about me in my life. When you mess up, if you want people to truly connect with you, understand you, give you another chance, look at you in a new light, you have to be able to dig up that stuff that you did and talk about it in a way, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to be able to relate to you. I think if Gabbie would have made the video she posted today 2 months ago when all of this stuff was going down, I don't think there would have been a mental breakdown. I think that it would have been received well. Drama channels would have nothing to talk about. The commentary channels would have nothing to talk about except maybe critique it here and there. But after that, it would have been pretty much over in my opinion. But I think because Gabbie brings all this stuff on herself, she digs her hole deeper. She just keeps digging her hole. There is a point in my life where if anybody called me out for anything, whether I was in the right or whether I wasn't, I instantly would snap back and defend myself. And it's because my entire life I've gone through stuff and it's made me a certain way. But there's a certain point where you have to take responsibility for those actions. And with doing that, you don't get to be the victim and apologize to the victim at the same time, in my opinion. I feel like to truly be sorry or to truly grow and change, you have to be willing to be wrong, be willing to open up. And I feel like she did that. And I was like, that was really cool. The way she was able to be authentic and break down those walls and talk about, this is how I used to be and this is how I still am sometimes. I'm still not the best person. But the problem I have with Gabbie is she always has to code it with where she's the victim. But what about the people that are a victim to your flaws, your actions? I don't know Gabbie, but I do know she uses the word smear campaign and defamatory. She believes she's been shadow banned because of those smear campaigns. But to me, people talking about you does not mean there's a smear campaign. She made a comment about drama and commentary channels that really bothered me about the amount of money they make off of talking about her. Have you ever heard of the news? Have you ever heard of, like, I don't know, like E-News? You know, they talk, like, people, it's a form of entertainment. Journalism, it's basically video journalism. That's what commentary and drama channels are. Some are sleazy, some are really intelligent and have very valid, deep, intellectual points. And that's just part of entertainment. It's part of being an entertainer, is that there are gonna be people that talk about you and make money off of it. That's just, hello. I don't know. I guess I just find it so off-putting that she is so against people making money off of talking about the internet and internet culture and situations on the internet. How are we going to ever grow or learn or evolve on the internet if we don't talk about the people that make money off of it? Like, there are the people watching these commentary channels are pretty much watching and then deciding if they want to continue to support certain people monetarily. The mainstream news, the media, it's all very tweaked and staged. You know, a lot of times when we talk about like Fox News and stuff like that, I think YouTubers talking about other YouTubers, giving their thoughts, their opinions, that is the most authentic version, and on a very like mini scale, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, some people don't even know these people that I'm talking about, and I'm like, yeah, I made a video about Tana. They're like,
who the hell is Tana?
You know, but like, when you really think about it, it's the most authentic version of news that you can get when it comes to YouTubers, because it's coming from the source. It's coming from YouTube, you know, although you definitely have journalists that write about YouTubers as well. But when it comes to a video format, like human beings that are just regular human beings that don't make like 6 figures on one video, their input means more to me than the input of like a bigger news source, in my opinion. I can relate to them. I understand their viewpoint better, you know? Gabbie, get over the drama channels and the commentary channels. I don't know what else to tell you. It bothers me. There's a few commentary channels that I watch that I tune in because I'm interested in what's going on. I watch YouTube more than I watch Netflix. So if I'm gonna be watching someone, I wanna make sure that the person I'm watching, I want to give my dollar to. YouTube is free. People are still getting paid. So I'm trying to choose who gets my dollar. And if the commentary and the drama videos are how I'm gonna figure out who I want to give my dollar to, I'm going to continue to watch. And I feel like that's where a lot of people stand. I feel like a lot of people are in it for the drama, but some people just want to be aware of the type of people and don't have the time to go do the research to figure out what's going on. So people were like, all right, I will be that person. I will be that middleman. And they started making YouTube videos about other people. And so when Gabbie sits here and talks about how she's got smear camp, nobody's smearing your name. One of your friends from that toxic friend group or whoever decided to say her truth, just like you did in that video that you posted today. Why am I talking like she's gonna watch this? I don't know. But her video isn't valid because you don't want your name associated with that sexual assault, because now your views are down and you're making less money. But you can go on your channel, not state any names, let everybody speculate, and you can list off all of these terrible things that you say people have done to you. I don't know if that's how that works. I really don't. I don't think that that's fair. A lot of her fans are bullies. So she drops this information, which is valid because she's telling her own story, but you can't be mad at other people and then do the same thing, just leaving the names out, but we all kind of like know, like we don't know, but we know. We think we know. Who knows? Do we know? I hope that Gabbie continues to post content that is a lot like what she posted today, because for the very first time since I've been watching her, which I stopped watching her a long time ago, her content really switched up and I wasn't here for it. I just can't really, I could never relate to her, but I could relate to parts of the video she posted today. And I feel like a lot of people in general, but also a lot of people on the internet that make money on the internet, could really gain something from being raw, real, and authentic online with no excuses. Just say you were a bad person at one point, because you know what? So was I, and so was a lot of other people. You know, I think the first thing to let people know you've grown is to acknowledge who you were, what you did, how you got through it. You know, I think it would be silly to expect people to be really vulnerable like that, because it takes a lot. And I know that because I have a YouTube channel and I'm not sitting on here talking about that. But if you want people to understand you or to give you another chance, it does help your case to really open up and be vulnerable and to share your experiences and to share what you've been through, but doing it without constantly like invalidating other people and their experience. And this is my opinion. You can tell me I'm wrong in the comments if you want, but in my opinion, I did comment on the video and I said, I don't watch Gabbie, I'm not a fan of Gabbie, but I do appreciate this video and I feel like it was genuine. The whole thing was genuine, because the fact that she pointed out all of her flaws and all the things that she does that are not great, and while also talking about, you know, her story, the way she did it is genuine to her. The way she displayed herself came off very raw and open. I just really feel like Gabbie took a step forward today. I think she did. That's my final note on this, is that I think she took a step in the right direction, but I feel like she needs to be more mindful. It seemed like she tried to drag whoever she could down with her, you know, and that's where I have an issue, because I can give you another chance. That other chance comes when you address all of the messed up things you did during that mental breakdown. Because for one, I would never make somebody feel bad for having a mental illness or displaying signs of being unwell, but that doesn't mean you're not responsible to take accountability and apologize for what you did when you were having that mental breakdown. Because just because your friends and your family and your boyfriend are there for you ride or die, like you say, Gabbie, the people that you were hurting and the fans that you were messaging and all of the things that you did during those times that you were losing it on Twitter and making podcasts that were very like emotionally charged, I guess is the best word. You have to take accountability for that. You have to hold yourself responsible. And the first thing that will happen is you will grow. People will see you and they will see you. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my video on Gabbie. I had all those thoughts like built up in my head and I had to let it out. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out Smokey Glow's channel and her 2 videos about Gabbie and the whole situation. A lot of people didn't want to talk about it because it is a really sensitive subject, and I feel like Jessie deserves better. Go watch Jessie Smiles too. We love Jessie. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will be back with another video soon. This one was just completely random and I hope you like it. I just 100% stream of consciousness. I did not have much planned for this video, so I hope that made sense. And yeah, bye guys.